Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon, depending on where you are. I meet everyone. I'll put this over here so I can see all of you.
How you doing, Mark?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for asking.
Doing good.
Awesome. Fantastic. Cool, cool.
Good morning.
Um Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me just keep admitting a few more people. We are slightly bigger group today. You're 28 and coming in some more people. I think I am. Kari, are you gonna stay here the entire time, like 1 hour?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay if I put you as a co-host, just in case I forget to admit someone in the room while I'm because I'm gonna be doing a little bit of composing at the beginning, and just
Sure.
you'll see show up, just admit them. Sounds good.
Yep.
Awesome, appreciate it. I'm gonna do this
My
right
pleasure.
now. Make a host. There you go. Make a host. So I'll try to be admitting people, but if I forget, just all right. Awesome. Thanks again for,
Well,
as I always say, for being here today. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm very excited, as every Thursday. Let's get started. The topic of today's class, as we announced it kind of like last week, is going to be we're gonna be doing a few classes of live composing. This one is just live composing when I compose something that I've been doing quite a bit, which is kind of like a slow drama, suspense, tension type of underscore kind of thing. I do lots of this lifetime, not lots, but last year of that I did five. The type of movies that I do is the lifetime female lead thriller type of movie, which I feel very lucky to be a part of, and I love and I enjoy it, and I feel very grateful to work with the people that I work with, that they bring me on board every time. And so it's this type of orchestral suspense, tension underscore type of music. So it comes somehow easy or easier than other styles to me. So let's get started with that. The goal is to kind of like that you see the process. Maybe this raises some questions. It should be fun. Let's do 20 minutes of composing, something like this. I'll try to compose like a minute or so. Let's start from scratch and let's see where it takes us. When we are done composing, let's open for Q&A. Sounds good? Awesome, fantastic. So let's do this. I'm gonna make you a tad smaller here, and I'm going to put you over here for now. So let's see. So this is a new project. Let's delete everything. Let's bring the entire template up, and let's see. Let's. I like to kind of like. So this is my template. Is that it got a bunch of enable disabled tracks, most of them disabled. The ones enabled are from the last time that I used the template. I To enable disable, I hit B, and it disables tracks. What I'll do is, what I like doing lately is start from like zero, like completely closed. And in Cubase, I use Command F, and I look for the track that I want, and then I start composing with this. So violins, for example, and I know it's easier for me to find instead of having to scroll up and down. But violins. Let's start with this. Let's see what the tempo. Let's go. Number one, Todd.
Hey,
So
Mark, I think you accidentally muted yourself.
I muted myself. I did. I don't know how I did that. Thank you. Thank you. Was that Kyle?
Hello.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, so
Yeah.
I was saying, let's start with this. kind of like motif, and let's develop from there. So it's suspense tension kind of thing. So we're gonna have dissonant intervals, or we can have minors, tritones, semitones, things like this in everything that we build musically. So melodically, also when we harmonically, if we have chords at all. To me, harmony is a series of horizontal lines that clash and then create harmony. So depending on the mood or the style, the way they clash is differently. For more for styles with more light, then when they clash, it's going to be more consonant, right? So major, third, fifth, fourth, like this. For darker styles, when these horizontal lines clash, they're gonna be more dissonant intervals, or darker intervals like tritones, semitones, minor thirds. So that's how I look at harmony. Obviously, there's a traditional and modern harmony, chords, extensions, and all that. But when I'm composing, I just think it's slightly different. So let's get started. Cool. And you guys can hear the music and click and all that. Good. Yes. Awesome. Fantastic. So, okay, I'm gonna explain this once because you may see me doing a bunch of stuff, but for many times for strings, I'll be using Cinematic Studio strings. Cool. With this script added, which is the CSS control panel. Okay, and it's here loaded. So basically what this does is it takes care of all the different delay or latency that CSS applies to each one of the articulations. So for example, where is this? For the slow legato, there's a 330 milliseconds of delay. For medium legato is 250, fast legato 100, and for short note 60. What this means that I cannot apply negative delay here consistently. See, it's minus 330, because depending on the articulation, it actually the note has a different latency or delay to get to sample peak. And so but this means that this library is beautiful and sounds great, but I would find myself adjusting the start time by ear all the time to make it sound right, depending on the, for example, speed of the legato. See the speed of the legato here? Slow, fast, medium, slow, and medium. So every time, depending on the speed of the legato, which makes it sound more realistic and alive, the latency is different, or the delay. So I would have to compensate, and it's a pain in the butt. And so there's this script which is phenomenal, and it allows me to just load it here, and then I can quantize, and it'll do everything for me. So that's basically what it does. Now, because when applied, there is 330 milliseconds of delay on the note that you press, and this is a problem. So they solve it with this, with CC13, which here adds no latency, which is good for playability when you're recording, and then boom, I bring it up, and then it applies all this delay compensation automatically depending on the articulation. So again, as years go by and libraries get better, get more realistic, but also harder to use, I'm very used to this workflow, and I can move fast, but it's a pain in the butt. It's not just like putting your hands on the keyboard and start recording. It's a few steps before you record. So you may see me doing this. That's exactly what I'm doing. Okay. That being said, it's just good stuff that's built for this library. Sounds beautiful, but don't worry about it. Let me just record the key switches. Cool. And then I'm gonna. Okay. Cool. Awesome. So now we're ready here. And I'm gonna redo dynamics a little bit because. Let me just redo this guy. Just that. There you go. Great, awesome. Violins 2 maybe. Violins 2. I'll duplicate this here. And do. And then violas. No. Violoncello maybe here. We're gonna do violoncello and double basses. Gonna play in. So I'm gonna select both of them. Yeah. Let's create a texture here with a kind of like a flautando or maybe super sultasto, something like. Let's activate this track. Yeah. Okay, I'll redo this later. I just want something underneath the double basses and cello line. Loud. So playing around with the motif. Let's double this guy. Oh, I was not playing to tempo, but it's okay because kind of like. So I had no click, but for that particular line, that's fine. I'm gonna duplicate these two cellos. Sorry, two double basses, and I think bassoon, two bassoons. No, not short notes. Bassoon. Gonna go with two bassoons long notes, and then the contrabassoon long notes, and I can copy and paste these two guys without the key switches down here. They come with delay. What's going on here? Oh yeah, yes, I know what's going on. Okay, have to put this here, 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 and here. What's going on with the. Let's see. So they come late. Expressive, yes. Legato, yes. And they should be working. Oh. Oh, this guy does not have this guy loaded here. ASP, preset, user, CSS, start. There you go. Comes late for whatever reason. Let me just adjust it manually. Okay, let's build some more texture. Adding solo, long, tremolo. Tremolo. Yeah. I should have. End here. Cool. What else? Super. I think we need a little bit of compensating on this texture thing. I think we need to compensate on the other side. So I'm gonna bring see violas. Yeah, violas. Maybe the yeah. Cool. Texture. Textural textures long. This guy here. I'm gonna bring a little bit of that for the transition. Here. Then in and out. Piano. Okay, cool, awesome. So we've got section uno, section dos, the kind of like presenting the motif, violins, then the low strings, repeating the motif going down. Let's go to something a little bit more pulsed and music and moving forward ish kind of thing. Let's see. Doing. Let's bring an arp. No, not an arp. 2 or 3 arps. Harp. Harp left. Harp right. I like to have 2 arps or harps or whatever. One that sounds a little bit more to the left, and another one press de la table on the other side. So that way when I hit a note, it just expands but widens it. I like to have one just regular and another one press de la table, which is closer to the wood for this more, as opposed to us. Sorry. So regular. So no, let's it's regular. Press de la table. Regular. So this. So two slightly different timbres out of the same instrument. Position left and right opens timbrically the sound and width left right. And I just want to pulse. Bam, 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 doing, dos, 3, 4, doing, 2, 3, 4, doing, 2, 3. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. The same sample, and you can hear the noise in the background. Doesn't even have that much round robin, it seems like, or it doesn't have round robin. I don't know, but this is it's a good library. But anyway, you could see the. Anyway, let's go. So I'm gonna quantize this guy. Yeah, cool, awesome. And then I'm gonna repeat this on the other side. Maybe this one is gonna be like, nah. So this should be. First one is. Okay, I just recorded expression for volume, and the first one is too loud, so I'm gonna bring it down. And it has to be natural. There you go. And now it has to be louder. There you go. Now let's go with the press de la table. This guy here. Just gonna be this key switch here. Cool. At this expression. I'm gonna go in here so you can see what I'm recording. Gonna hit this guy. And we're gonna go with. There you go. And I am not going to quantize this one because I want a slightly different starting time, see? And I want it so there's like da-dong kind of thing. It opens left, right, da-dong. That's exactly what I want. Okay, cool, awesome. So kind of like bigger sound. Cool. Dun 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 dun. We're gonna go like dong zakataka dum dakat, so dum dakoteke 1 dum dakoteken, and then we're gonna have the violins doing tom, and then the cellos are going to do something more pulse and the double basses just will reinforce this kind of thing. Let's see if we can build that. And these guys are gonna go. For this, I'm gonna switch to marcato articulation. So boom, marcato, because I want the. Okay, so that's fine. Okay. Okay. Come on. Autumn. I missed one. Okay, cool. I have to bring this. So one. Gonna see all. This guy is the one that has to go up. 13, and now I'm gonna quantize this all to. Let's make this a little bit longer. Let's find the ones that truly work well. So, and let's get rid of the ones that. I don't like this one. So we're gonna just. I don't like this one, but I do like these first three better than these two. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get rid of this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then the last one out. Because I don't like the first one. Yes. Okay, cool. And with this, we're gonna repeat these two, the violins two, do, rem, and maybe even violas, right? Violas. It seems the violas have the spiccato relay active. Okay, maybe I hit the key switch too hard. Key switch should be softer, like this, so it doesn't trigger the spiccato overlay. It's get to know your libraries kind of thing. So I hear something weird like, oh, maybe the spiccato relay is active in this library. Because I hit the key switch too hard and fix the problem. But these libraries that are amazing, right? But they are amazing because they offer you so much control. But with more control, it's more options that you have to take care of for that realism that you are after. So it's a blessing, but also it's a pain. Okay, cool. Violoncellos. Short notes. Dungon dangen. Too short. Yeah, I think so. I think violas are gonna go down an octave. So these are the violas down an octave. Yeah, I think we can hit this first one. Yeah. Now, cool, awesome. So here's the cello stuff. Going to quantize this just a tad, and then we have to record just key switches for the cello, which is going to be F. So F, And now we have to bring this up. Yeah. And okay, cool. Double bass, she's short notes. In this case, gonna be like something like let me see. Let me record the switches on that. Nah. Yeah, maybe not in the lowest register, or maybe in octaves. Yeah. Cool. I can repeat this. I repeat this. Yeah. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one is a tad too loud. So, okay. So, maybe Titan? Titan. Let's bring some percussion here. Dum-dum. Dum-dum-dum. Cool. All right, quantize. Sub bomb, boom. Activate. Ooh, sorry. This guy is loud. Let's bring it down. Minus 30. There you go. Okay, cool. Let's idle monster brass. Activate. Yeah. Orchestra. Let's see, orchestra long. Boom. Okay. Cello or solo? Solo. Let's see. Let's go here. No, and yeah. Now, I think do. And maybe where's Titan? Titan here. Yes, just a tad later. I would have to work on this, but what? What happened? Oh no, piano. Banana. And maybe here we can marimba roll. No. Two tritons. Let's see. Nice eerie kind of thing. This guy here. This thingy. Celesta. Sorry. Not that. Because we're gonna add here some sort of like flautando. This guy. Yeah, something like this. Let's make this more interesting. There's that texture. Let's add some eeriness. Yeah. A little bit of solo. Where were you? Cello, super sul tasto. Activate. Cool. All right. Let's see. Take a listen to this. Basically strings, textural strings. Let's go. That was nice. I like the ending. I don't like this transition. We can work a little bit on this, but not much. Just a tad. Where's my harp? My marimba here. Yep, yep, yep. That's pretty cool. And maybe a piano. Boom. So this was the piano that I recorded here. Last one was super late. Okay, cool. Just some low notes here. And this one now it's super loud. What happened? What happened here? Let's just bring it down just a tad. You know what? A minor. Where's that viola? Run this one. This one. This is a beautiful library on piano book. Soft string textures. I'm gonna use it here. I'm gonna stop here. How much we've composed? So like a minute of music. Cool, not bad. Let's look at the notes actually. Let's do a one pass, but looking at the notes. And then let's go. And then let's Q&A. Okay, let's see. Finale. Okay, awesome, cool. Let's go. Q&A. I know there are comments in the chat. I didn't read any of them. Sorry. But if you've got any questions, instead of me having to read through all of this, just go ahead, raise your hand or unmute your mic and feel free to talk.
I do have a question.
Go for it.
Okay, so recently, as I've been working in music, I've gotten a lot better at like more positive emotion music. I've gotten pretty good at action, mid intensity, and high intensity. I'm still really horrible at adventure. Uh, and I've gone through all the courses from what I have, and I've looked at a lot of things, and I still can't quite seem to get a good adventure theme. Do you have any recommendations of other things I could try?
Hmm. So, so for adventure, generally, that's a great question. Thanks. This is the harder for me generally because adventure, um, it's going to be all about two things: orchestration, which is very big, um, for the style. It's like it has a big impact on the style, and also, oops, horns. Also, it's going to be a type of melody. So let me see. If we okay, so you can see the piano. It's going to be all fourths and fifths. Um, I mean, so once you get the melodic statement, then and then everything is going to be harmonizing it, kind of like it's generally it's going to be majors. It's going to stay in the 1/4. Kind of thing. And so then it would take quite a bit to delve into the orchestration side of things, but it's it's a style that has very specific rules if you want to follow the cliche, and if you deviate too far from the rules, then it just messes the entire thing. But structure, melody, so I would say melody, orchestration, harmony, and the structure are the, in order of importance, the elements that will define the style. I've mentioned just a couple here, but what I would recommend would be the one that taught me the most is analyzing the Captain America theme. It's in the I'm a Composer course in the in-depth analysis, the first of the analysis, the Alan Silvestri Captain America. Uh, Go and listen to that one several times. That's, to me, I had the biggest ahas. Learning how to compose in this style was analyzing that particular theme. Hopefully, this makes this
Thank you.
this helps. Cool.
Yes,
Awesome.
thank you.
All right. Cool. Great question. D.
Oh, hi, how you doing? To kind of piggyback off of what the gentleman just talked about, how would you apply that to sense to something in that genre, or to like I guess you could say like a moog, excuse me, a moog, or any sense? Would it be the same practice, or the same I guess same ideas?
I would say if we are bringing synths, pulses, and hybrid stuff into adventure, then we would have something like Jackman's score for Hero 6, like Disney movie, where there's a lot of hero, but it's also fun for kids type of hero, and there's a lot of energy going on with pulses and synth. And I would take a look. I'd listen to that score and see. I think it's a very energetic, great score that has a fantastic use of both more like the heroic, fun, orchestral traditional elements with pulses, synths, and hybrid elements. In my case, if I were to use both worlds, the orchestral and synths for something heroic, I would be using synths for like the moving forward element of the music, like those pulses and that extra added energy to the arrangement, and I would have all the more traditional heroic elements like horns, brass, etc. for those big heroic melodic statements. That's what I would do. Does this help? Awesome, fantastic. All right, let's go with Andreas and then Jer.
Hey, yeah, I have a couple of questions. First one, really short one. I see your mouse. Do you use the thumb keys for shortcuts in Cubase?
Absolutely, yeah, 100%. Yeah. Okay, I would go. Most likely, you'll have access to the Essential Composing Foundation course. In the tech side of things, I explain how I have it configured. But I have it for view stuff. Like I want to see just the tracks being used at the moment. I want to see my entire template, things like this. I have it for. I want to see these tracks EQ, things like this. I want to merge tracks. For example, I want to merge these two guys. I'm gonna click here. Boom. Now it's merged them, and things like this. I have Cubase key switches that are useful when I'm editing, meaning when I've got the hand in the keyboard. The other recording key switches have them as close as possible to my hands, which is gonna be the keyboard or the Stream Deck.
Got it. Thanks. So you were talking about the latency when playing in and with CSS, you can use CC13. How do you deal with libraries that don't have that and you can't really get rid of the latency? So I tried modern scoring strings from Audio Bro, and they have a 40 millisecond is the minimum, or at least I haven't found yet if you can really set it to 0. How do you deal with that when playing in?
It's a pain in the butt. Okay, but it's something that we have to deal with it. If you have a library that's loaded that has a fixed latency or delay till reaching sample peak, then that's no problem. You just set up the delay here, delay compens here, and that's it. Okay, so for example, I've got this library part.
Track delay, yeah.
Exactly, right here. So for let's imagine that the harp had 20 milliseconds, then minus 20, end of story, because all the notes have the same thing. But for variable latencies, depending on articulation, it's just micro adjusting it or knowing the way I've seen, the way I did it in the past, and the way I've seen Dirk do it is having a macro in your mouse in particular, or in the Stream Deck or whatever, where depending on the articulation, then you just select, and it does a macro where it nudges them by X amount of milliseconds. But it requires a little bit of manual work, and so that way you avoid having to play by ear and adjust by ear. You know exactly, okay, this legato has 40, this other legato has 80, and the staccato has 20, and and you can nudge them automatically.
Yeah, the question was not so much about variable latencies, but if you have a fixed latency that is higher than what you would normally feel, you just have to play it in that early then, right?
No, that in that case would be negative delay. Just negative delay here at the track level, like for example in the ARP, and I would apply this negative delay here, and that's it. And then I can quantize it, everything will play.
I know, but when you play in, I mean, when you play it in, then you still have that.
Sorry for a pain in the, sorry for the long answer, not to the point. Yes, it's harder to play, right?
Yeah.
You get used to it. Just get used to it, in a way.
Okay. I have a couple more questions, but I let other people ask.
Okay,
first.
cool. Let's do Jer.
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
I had a question as far as the suspense cue. If you're writing like in a chromatic scale, are there different modes, like when you're writing major or minor or mixolydian, besides just saying they're minor seconds or tritones? Is there, if you had like a main theme and you wanted the suspense theme to come in underneath it, are there things you would consider on?
That's
like mode?
Great question. Yes, you could. I personally think from like pitch class set mentality. So I'm like, okay, I start composing, right? And in my head, I know what are the notes that I'm using. But if I were to explain this, I would go like, okay, doc. If I needed to document this, or this is what's happening in my head, in fact. So if we've got so we've got the C note, which to me is gonna be 0. Okay, then we've got 1, 2, 3, 3, and then we've got C. Okay, which is down by 11, right? Okay, so these are the pitch, the pitch class set, and all the music is gonna revolve around this being the 0, the note C. Okay, and then this 1, 3 is E flat, etc. Right, and this is
Okay.
B. And so from here, I just play around. Then I can move it. If this 0 now becomes B flat, then everything else moves around this. And this pitch class is very simple, but I could have something like, then I also had the F sharp, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, right? And that's it. And that becomes my mental model for all the music, and all the notes should be one of these 4 notes now. It's a
I
little
see.
bit
So
weird.
it's proportional to what the root would be in your main theme.
Exactly, being 0 C, and if it moves, then all the other notes move. Does this make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess the other part of that question was, besides like a minor second or a tritone, those seem like the big ones that we were playing with here, right? Like the da-dun, da-dun, and then
Yep, the semitone, do-go-degem, do-go-degem, and then the minor third, do-i, that was a minor third. Do-i resolving down a major third in this case, which is the B note. But it's a semitone from the first note. I just hear this motif in my head to get started, which is it's very typical Suspense kind of thing, I guess. And so I went with it, and then doim bom. All right, now the lows. Dogo degem, dogo degem, dogo degem, tritones in the kind of like sultastos, so super volticello, with the piano, end kind of thing.
yeah, I think it was that last part, that da-da-da, that part that kind of made it eerie, because it was going off key, but it still sounded good.
Exactly. Yeah, you go off key. Yeah, exactly. You said this and then you go off key. Also with the random tremolo of the viola patch from the piano book. Also, I went off key several times, and that creates a little bit more of darkness, eeriness. Yeah, this style is for if you want to be lazy with harmony and want to break all the rules, do whatever you want. This this is the style. Awesome, cool. Any follow-up questions with this? Did this answer your question?
No, that was great. Thank you.
Awesome, fantastic. Let's continue. Dimifi, how are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm fine. I love this. In the course, you give us a chord progression for fantasy chords, but I don't see the trick. I don't see the trick to the chord progression. Why does it sound fantasy?
Great question. So let's use piano maybe. So for fantasy, right, we're talking about moving the chords by maybe
neighbor chords.
Exactly, yeah, neighbor chords. For lazy composers, I call it like I've got this major chord and I move it up and down a minor major third. So, and because we are, and in a way, we can do these chords in a way that's not too. We still can conduct the voices very well with these neighbor chords, right? And but it's not too tonal, right? And so it creates this kind of like fantasy cinematic effect. As you're just going from this from one chord to the neighbor chord, which is basically moving them anything but the diatonic. You still can
You don't do
conduct
it.
the voices very well and give it this kind of like fantasy, magic, more cinematic type of feel. That's why if you orchestrate it the right way with the typical, everything that adds kind of like color and magic. So all the tremolos and the trills and all the magical instruments like the celestes, and you want color with woods and all this kind of thing, then it enhances orchestrally, timbrically, that magical fantasy effect. There's so much more to it, but yeah, does this answer your
Okay.
question?
Yes, I had another one.
Cool, go ahead.
Like in this example, you make the violins go much louder in the end, which is very beautiful. But I was wondering if in reality this is also possible for an orchestra.
What did I make it louder? The
violins.
Oh, the violins, yes, with the flautandos, right? That are not supposed to
Yes.
sound as loud. Absolutely, you're right. Yeah, it's just for the effect.
Is it possible or is it not possible?
With in film scoring orchestra, yes, because you do a striping and you would record different instruments separately, and then you've got control over the strings. Like generally, the way when there's a good enough budget, you're gonna be recording not the entire orchestra at the same time. You're gonna be doing a striping, what's called a striping, and so you're gonna record the violins. Maybe like the long strings, shorter strings, melodic brass, rest of the brass, right? So it's not we don't have as much separation as with samples, but for the interest of sound, we record separately. So then in the mixing process, we've got control over these things. And if emotionally or dramatically is required to have this artificial, non-realistic sounding soft strings flautandos louder than usual, then we can go for it because we are trying to enhance that kind of like eeriness of the sound, and by doing that artificially bringing up the flautando and super sul ponticello strings louder, then it generates this effect. So yes, with you could do that.
It's beautiful.
It's just an effect. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it works.
Yeah, and somebody answered my question also already in the chat. I was also asking about the round robin. But I do not know exactly. Is it when you totally keep repeating a certain pattern? Is it that round robin?
So the round robin concept is the idea that if you're repeating a staccato note several times, the sample engine should trigger different samples, otherwise to avoid the machine gun effect. And this happens automatically behind the scenes, that the sampler contact or whatever does that automatically. For long, and usually we've got 8 repetitions, or at least 5. 5 is the sweet spot.
So it's the length of the separate notes sounding, so which come back after some time.
The problem is that for short notes they will at least record 5 repetitions. But for long notes, sometimes they just record 1 repetition, so there's no round robin. And so it was very noticeable in that ARP note, because that note came with actual noise, and you could hear the noise repeating over. So that particular patch for long notes, ARP did not have any round robin. Sometimes for long notes they have 2 round robin, but in this case they had just 1. So
that means that they use 2 different sounds for the note.
Exactly, they recorded twice.
Change.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's the same. Round robin, when it comes to building the library, would require to record the same, let's say, C staccato note 5 times or 8 times, and then building it to the sample. And every time that we repeat the note, it's an actual different sample recording.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right. Lorenzo, go for it.
Hello, Mark. And,
hey.
First of all, thank you for doing this. This is very good, and not only gives a perspective on some technical things, it also inspires. And so thank you very much. Wow. And I would like to ask you 2 questions. And one is, so I'm starting in this world of composing and learning skills and, equipment or whatever. I'm still learning everything from the beginning. And I would like to know what are some good habits that I should have in order to progress well.
Okay, cool, awesome. Gonna give you 3. Great question. First of all, I would say, write as much music as you can. But so we're talking about we are in the growing your skill as a composer, yes?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So in terms of write as much music as you can. There's nothing like practice. This like you'll get as far just watching videos, but practice is when you're gonna actually learn the thing, because you're gonna struggle. You're gonna have to figure it out. So that's the first thing. Second, I would say the biggest thing for me was just if it's orchestral cinematic music that you want to do, then listen to scores. Listen to me when I was studying at the beginning. I was in conservatory, and so I just listened to lots of classical music and I was reading the score. That to me, my biggest growth as a composer when I was starting out was to actually to listen and analyze someone else's music. And obviously, I was listening, the Beethovens and the Brahms and the Stravinsky's, all this to me, okay, because I was classically trained, because I was a young kid in Spain, classical conservatory, the whole thing. But if it is film music that you want to learn, same thing. Listen to film scores, but with an analytical ear. If you have access to the scores, which are rare, then I would recommend also read the score if you read music. And if not, in the I'm a Composer course that we've got reductions of the scores that are very easy to follow. So that can help. But at least listen to music from other people with an analytical ear. And then the third and most important would be try to replicate that. So the best way to it's always said, if you want to learn orchestration, like learn orchestration, not composition, orchestration.
Yeah.
What you would do is you would look at a score and you would literally transcribe it by hand, because it is very different reading at a score at the speed that it goes than actually by hand writing note by note. You're like, oh my gosh, I see what's doing, right? You know what the composer is doing right here, right? It's amazing. Now, we don't do by hand anymore, or we don't compose in the score editor that much anymore for this medium film music. We use sequencers. So what I recommend is transcribe music and do a mock-up transcription. So listen to a score, try to replicate it with sample libraries. That will teach you so much about music orchestration, but also using your sample libraries, because you're gonna have to push your sample libraries to try to replicate and get close to that sound, and that takes some skill. So those would be the 3 things that I would recommend. Obviously, study courses, videos, free courses, or attend classes, ask questions, surround yourself with other composers, mentors, someone that can help you along the way. But for those 3 things that you could do, those would be the one: compose music, analyze, and transcribe.
Okay. And one thing is, you were talking about the I'm a Composer course, and I've looked at a few others, including the membership. Is it like prepared to teach us things from scratch, or should I learn some basic things before, or like what's the level required?
What I would say is the I'm a Composer course starts just like today. Like, okay, today we're gonna learn to compose in this particular style, suspense, and tomorrow adventure, and blah blah, the whole thing, right? So the course itself assumes some initial foundational background. If you are in the membership, I would start with the Essential Composing Foundation or the Composer in a Week course. That is really good to get started.
I purchased that one this week. Yeah.
Awesome, fantastic. So if you have this one, I would do the entire course. I would add that one, if you got it this week, also included the foundations, composing foundations course, and
also the cliche.
Film music cliches, exactly. That you've got some scores there, and the orchestral programming. So with that, you've got quite a bit. If you want to move to the next level with I'm a Composer, go to just cinematiccomposing.com. We are gonna this weekend, I think we're gonna launch a little promotion on the I'm a Composer cinematic composing at a special price. cinematiccomposing.com/I'm a Composer. So we're gonna go we're gonna go special price with this. We're gonna announce this today or tomorrow. It's gonna go for, but the page is open already.
Oh, okay.
I have to change this and all
That's
that. But we're gonna open this for till Monday. So this would be your
so
next
that's
step.
that's the I'm a composer.
Yes, this is the I'm a composer.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is the full membership like worth it for beginners, or maybe I should train a bit more?
Is the membership worth it for beginner? It depends on your style. So memberships have the pros and cons. The pros is that you have access to everything, not just the classes, but obviously the content. But it's your renting content, so it's good.
Okay.
For us as a company, a membership is great because we can know how much we're gonna do next month and we can pay everyone here. But I personally, there's many people that have the membership, and we appreciate your support, and I hope that brings value. I personally don't like memberships. I prefer to buy to own, but it's just a personal style.
Yeah, I understand. Okay, I'm gonna think about it. Well, thank you very much.
Yep, my pleasure. Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All right, Jer, how are you?
Hey, good. I had one more question. You mentioned about using sequencers, DAWs, I assume, instead of using like Dorico. Is there a reason why? Because I know Dorico now you can manipulate the sound library when you're playing it. It seems like being able to put articulations in the score is easier than having 5 lanes of articulations.
Yeah, okay, great question. Also, composing style, personal taste, whatever works for you. Generally, though, even though Dorico has so much more power these days, and you can manipulate the sound, still to me and many composers, with a DAW, you can. It's designed. It's meant for sound rather than score. And so you could do a score with Cubase, right? But it's not as powerful as Dorico or Sibelius. And so the same concept applies the other way around. There are many composers, and I during during a big part of my composing journey, I felt more comfortable looking at a score because I can see the music and I can see the layers. And when transitioning to DAW, it took me a while to adjust. The pros of the DAW back then for me was like I can make it sound better because it's designed for this. It has more options, more. And then as the more I've used it, the faster I am. To a point where if I have to create a score, composing with a score, I struggle more than composing here at this point. Pros and cons: with a score, generally you'll be able to compose more complex music. You're gonna be able to visualize more complex music. With a sequencer, all these problems. Then all the layers that you have mentioned. If you do DAW, then you're gonna have to, and then you're recording with Orchestral, you have to transition. So MIDI cleanup, orchestrate, copy, part. So pros and cons. But the thing is that the first wall that I have to jump, or it's my client, generally the director or producer, they're gonna approve or reject my music based on sound. Obviously, it's a dramatic effect. Does it work with the scene? Yes, no. But does it sound good? And so I can create a better, faster, better sounding mock-up with a sequencer than a score editor, more convincing to the non-musically trained ear of a director or producer. So that's why.
That makes sense. So it's a mock-up. It's just easier to make good mock-ups.
Yep, exactly.
All right, thanks.
Awesome. You're welcome. Andreas?
Yeah, so for this composition, you said this is for a movie. You don't have the visuals for the movie, right? You only get a brief. And this, because we were just talking about mock-ups, this is, however, when it's mixed and mastered, this is the final version. Or is there going to be live instruments playing your composition for this specific project, if you can talk about it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So for this particular project, generally, I have, before I have the movie, I have a discussion with the director or producer or line producer, and they tell, or I can read the script or something like this. And generally, I come up with a suite. So I can put like a 5 to 15 minutes piece of music with some themes and some ideas, colors, timbres, etc. and I present it to them. It's like, yes, this is gonna work. And then when I get the movie, which I should be getting it today, I was supposed to receive it yesterday. Then I sit down with the director and we have a spotting session. After the spotting session, and based on my suite, then I'll create 1 or 2 scenes, 2 picture, and I'll send them to them. As soon as this is approved, then I can start composing faster. But yeah, this is the process generally. Understanding the movie, coming up with the concept. Okay, the concept for this movie is gonna use this motif that's gonna evolve in third act. When this happens, then this is gonna transform. It's gonna, okay, the concept is kind of like a, an idea in your head. This is what I'm going to do. From concept to suite, you come up with the suite. You make the concept tangible. That's my process. With that tangible process, you present it to the director, and they're like, "I like it so far. Awesome. It looks good. It could work with the movie. Great. Awesome." Then a spotting session and adapting the suite to specific scenes, present them to them in a more tangible way, and they actually see the thing, and they're like, "Yes, they approve these two," and then you start working with the rest of them.
Right. And so what you did today, which step of the process is this? Is this still part of the suite?
I would say just initial explorations kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Coming up with the concept kind of thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
How did you do this? But before I ask this, you said before when I asked you about the mouse, which course is this? Do you talk about this in the mouse and the technical setup? Is that
Essential Composing Foundation?
Essential. Okay, I have that one. I haven't watched that yet. Cool. Do you also talk about how you did that with the disabled tracks and you just searching for the tracks and then enabling them? Is that explained as well? Cool.
No, not that. This the enable disable. It's nothing special in particular. The finding the tracks is Command F or Control F in Cubase. Simple as that. And then I find the track, and then I just go here to edit key commands, and then I assign the enable disable track, and I assign the letter B in this case for me, and then I just hit and activate all template, cinematic composing, all my template stuff. If you want free training, this first and only one that we've got at the moment is it's all explained here. All the kind of like where's Mark template in depth. This is kind of like me 1 hour describing my template.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, thank you. That was my question.
Okay, Danny, let's go for one more. And then, for the interest of time.
Hola, buenos días.
¿Qué pasa?
España.
¿Qué tal, Dani?
¿Todo bien? Laboralmente no habla muy bien español y no es cortés hablar español por todos los chicos. Yo cambio en inglés ahora, ¿ok?
All right.
Vale. Many thanks for this interesting insight. I have little bit things like, because I work with Logic, so I think I cannot use all these tricks, I guess, with finding the instruments and all that stuff. Is there any workaround for that? Are you familiar?
Yeah. Absolutely. So if you are, let's go courses. If you are inside cinematic composing, you should have access to support. It is little. Obviously, send us an email, ask any question, we can help, we can give you support. But we've got this little thing. It's an AI software that we have trained, and it's called From Cubase to Your DAW Transformer. And so basically, we've trained this thing with all the questions that you have been asking and all the answers that we've given you, plus all the user manuals updated. And so basically, what's your name? John Doe or whatever. And teach name of Mark. And here's like, okay, what's up? So Mark is using retrospective recording with Cubase. He plays the piano and records MIDI. Make sure to explain this clearly because it takes some. But the MIDI doesn't get recorded. Then he hits R and the MIDI shows up. And that's it. And then
Yeah, okay, I understand.
What,
I
what,
found the
what,
concept.
what's yeah? What's your? Then you just click here, and it's gonna give you the answer.
Very good, very good. But this is not an automatic answering. That is not. It's not. Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's automatic.
It does.
Yeah.
Automatic. AI behind it. Okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Sometimes
right.
it'll miss the answer, but most of the times it gets it.
Okay, like ChatGPT. Okay, good.
Yeah.
And the second question is totally different. If you may, I just add one.
Please.
How you come to find out which instruments you add next in order to give the texture that is needed for the piece? Is it just experience, or you have any are there any logical sense behind it to add that?
So yes and no. So today I was just having fun. It's a style that I feel very comfortable with, and I was like, oh, kind of thing, right? But there are certain rules and certain things that make it sound more adventure, more hero, more villain, more suspense. And so for suspense is what we have done today, right? This is all. Every style has a different set of rules when it comes to orchestration. This is all laid out in the IMA Composer course, where we go style by style. And at the beginning I explain, okay, so for this style, melodically, harmonically, orchestration, and then tempo and rhythm, what are the rules if you want to hit this cliche, right? And then we explain, and then I compose in that style to kind of like proof that this is the following these rules, it sounds like this. And then obviously you come with your own unique voice that you merge with the style and rule, and that makes your music unique.
And an additional question to that, very short one. How severe is it if you not follow all these particular rules? If you just find your own taste, and hopefully you're not copying one of the big guys, but maybe you have your own signature. Is that a possible way, or you would say first learn your basics and then really try then figure out, or you think there is also a good idea to start your own signature and then see maybe how you can improve because of the rules, as you said?
Yeah, I would say, just like you said, don't follow the rules. Know the rules so you can break them, because the useful thing about these rules is that you're going to be working for a client. You're getting paid for an expected result. And so they want that result. And there are certain things that are going to get you there. But they hired you because of you, and you're a brand. And so they expect also to sound a little bit like Mark Giovanni, right? And so you should have your signature sound, which comes with years, right? Every one of us does things slightly different. That's your sound. It's no secret. It's no big deal, right? But then you are composing for a thriller movie, and you are supposed to, for the audience expects, the client wants you to deliver a result for the movie, so the audience feels what they want them to feel, kind of thing. And so there are certain things, like if I'm working on an independent movie, I've got more creative freedom. If I'm working for a sci-fi or a Lifetime movie, that is a product, right? I'm gonna be closer to the convention, right? I still have a lot of fun with these movies, and I can go very far, and they give me a lot of freedom. But in this case, I will follow the rules a little bit closer. Independent movie, more space to experiment.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thank you very much.
All right, Danny. We all good? Awesome. Fantastic. Well, thanks everyone for your time. I always appreciate this so much. I know it's your most valuable asset. It's been a pleasure being here with you today. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of the week and a beautiful weekend. And I will see you next week. Thank you so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye.